even harder. Anyway, we're gonna go to the third attempt at a Mongols war, and this time there won't be any restarts. And once more, if you guys just tuned in, thank you so much for coming here. I am Majmora, joined by Zero Empires, and we're gonna keep casting this series, MbL against Mentalist. It's game 2. All the restarts have been called. Mentalist was able to win the first game, and right now we've got a very important Mongols war. Let's start by taking a look at the map, Zach.
Yeah, so up to the north of the map, we have MbL, and just look at that boar, would you, at the back of that wood line. That's awkward.
Oh boy, this guy hasn't been lucky, has he? He hasn't been lucky at all.
He's been so unlucky. I always make a joke when I'm streaming about how the best players in the world are the luckiest players, because they always get the nice maps, and they always get the great boar locations and all this. MbL really not having a good day today with this map generation. That boar is going to be awkward, to say the least. I mean, even here on the left side, you see the stone, it's blocking the path even more, and that's going to be a real pain. He may even, I mean, he's gonna have to do loom to grab that.
That's for sure.
He may have to use a sheep to block it, but maybe, I don't know, it could be a real mess. It could be a real mess.
That's what I wanted to say, because even if he does loom, I'm not sure if the villager can make it without a little bit of blocking from the scout or from the sheep. I don't know, man. That board is just as horrible as it gets. I'm a little bit disappointed here by the lumber camp from MbL. I guess there's a little bit space from the right side of the house.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of that's kind of stuff that a player of his level maybe shouldn't make. I don't know. The lumber camp here, it's just like it's blocked in by the forage bush and the house. It's not going to be terrible, but it could have been better to put it on the wood line at the back.
At the back, right, I agree.
Clear.
Just at the further back, why not? Anyway, he's going to go for 4 villagers on wood, something you don't see every day as a Mongols too. But before we get to that, let's take a look at Mentalist's map too.
Go ahead.
Okay, so Mentalist, I'm right now on his point of view. First thing that I can see is a bad gold and a bad spot, but there's always a but. In this case, I think it's not too bad because he can wall just right in front of it. Zach, with a couple of buildings, a couple of palisades, he's going to be safe from that side. The right side of the map can be easily wallable too, let alone the left side. All in all, I think it's an acceptable map.
Yeah, it's not too bad at all, and I'm interested here. I'm just looking at MbL again, because it's kind of amusing.
There is the scout.
Yeah, he's got this scout over at the south, but I'm looking at this house here. He's built a house on this left side, so he's made a really narrow gap for that boar to get through. And look at Mentalist right now. He's got that scout cavalry chasing the village now.
Oh boy.
Just keeping a close eye on what's going on over there. He's even going to pick up MbL's sheep now, and I'm wondering if he's going to be running away with them, or if he'll throw them back to MbL.
He's gonna see the boar too. I do love what MbL is doing. He's like, "What's up? I'm not trying to lure any boar. Just wanted to do a house here, bro. You can just get lost. There's nothing to see here." There you go. He just goes back with the villager. There's nothing there, Mentalist. But oh boy, if you only knew, Mentalist knows all too well. Well, is he gonna try to trap the scout? I'm not quite sure what he's trying to do there.
He's leaving it. Yeah, MbL is just like, okay, I can't be bothered with this. This is just too much hassle for me. I'm just gonna leave, pretend the boar doesn't exist. Let's just pretend the map only spawns with 1 and walk back to his berries here. Okay, so weird start from MbL. This is interesting, to say the least. And look at this deer patch on the front for Mentalist as well. He's wasting no time gathering those deer. That is huge. That is so huge.
Look at the amount of deer. And just as I wanted to point out that MbL has got no deer at all. And it looks like he's going to be 1 boar behind, even though Mentalist seems to be giving up on that boar. And MbL says, "Thank you, sir. Well, then, if you don't want it, I'm going to take it." It might be a little bit too late for him. He's going to be struggling for food, for sure.
Sorry to interrupt. Like,
no
just
problem.
In this situation, MbL, he's scouted Mentalist quite well, right? Why didn't he just use his own scout to take his boar with if he was going to just wait that long with the villager? Like, right now, he's up on 3 farms. He's throwing up a huge palisade on this left side. Mentalist already clicked to feudal. He doesn't even have a farm yet. He's taking advantage of all the deer on the front, and MbL, it's just looking like a massive mess, to say the least, right now.
This is beautiful. Those deer are just a beauty. They're gorgeous. Look how many deer he's got there, and they're collected so fast. And Mentalist is gonna have food for so many scouts. Anyway, good thing here going for MbL. Looks like the board's gonna land safely under his TC. I do want to point out as well that he didn't have too many villagers on berries, and that's gonna hurt him even more. And you can see the villager just barely survived with 2 HP, and that means without any blocking, the villager would have been dead.
Yeah, exactly. But in this situation, MbL is doing the right thing by walling this up
Well up.
completely. Because I mean, you can't keep your whole economy open before you even hit the feudal age. And Mentalist here is clearly going to be going into scouts, no doubt, since he has all this additional food. And if you're not even hitting the feudal age at this point, and you can't get a spearman out, then you may as well just say goodbye to your remaining villagers. But look at this on the right side.
Yeah, he's gonna
just
stop
kill
it.
this villager
Yeah,
now.
he's gonna stop it. This is just so unfortunate for the MbL. It's unbelievable, and that means that gap is gonna be open. And by the time MbL brings more villagers, I don't know.
It's too late.
Yes, maybe not. Maybe he might be lucky. I think MbL is gonna be able to wall it. One villager is gonna go down, that's for sure. But I'm also sort of expecting to see Mentalist going forward here, Zach, because he knows he's gonna need to break some walls.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. It's always a risk, isn't it? Like, it can be difficult. Those walls there, and they're only, piddly little palisades, but at the end of the day, if your opponent is paying close attention, it can be quite difficult to break through them in the feudal age. Once you get to the castle age, it's fine, it's easy, but feudal age, it could take a while, and I think Mentalist may consider going forwards, or he may just kind of decide, okay, well, maybe I'll throw a tower up. Actually, looking at his stone, he's not. He's actually throwing up a stone wall, and it seems like he's just gonna mirror. Oh yeah, he will. Maybe.
Yeah, he just lost a villager.
It looks like, as I was going to say, Mentalist will just mirror MbL at this point.
Yeah, he's gonna throw. Okay, you were talking about a Mentalist. There we go. Stone walls going up here for Mentalist. He wants to make himself very, very safe too. Looks to me like he's not gonna go forward. I was sort of half expecting it, considering how open the map for MbL actually is. And with a couple of towers right here on top of this hill in front of the berries, there's not really much that MbL could do to stop him, especially considering that he's only 50% to feudal age at this point. And what MbL is gonna try to do seems quite obvious to me. He's gonna try to go for a fast castle.
Yeah, like Mentalist here, you see his stone walling up. I mean, this is what I said. If he just mirrors MbL, then he's going to be able to do it better because he had the better start. So if he just copies what MbL is doing, which is clearly here a fast castle, then Mentalist can probably do a fast castle in roughly the same time, maybe with an even better economy, and this should be no trouble at all, since he's even taken down a couple of MbL's villagers here with that single scout. Looks like Mentalist may have a hard time on this left side.
Oh,
MbL trying to grab the hill advantage.
Yep, doing the right thing, going to the top of the hill. Yep, he's gonna get it. There it is. Nice job here by MbL. Looks to me like it's walled. Looks to me like it's fully walled right by now. Zach, seems like the villager was able to close the gap, losing a villager, so that's a nice victory here for MbL. Let me go into his point of view. He's going to be able to click very, so not even going to drop a barracks, just going to go straight for market and blacksmith. I guess at some point he will
MbL finding himself on Black Forest right now. Yeah, this is interesting, but let's be honest here, Mongol's Castle Age pretty strong as well, and he may have lost a couple of villagers here to that scout, but trying to fight this in the feudal age would have been suicide, I feel, so he's definitely making the right decisions so far. Of course, Mentalist doing Wheelbarrow right now. He just finished Wheelbarrow. He'll go up to the Castle Age in just a moment as well. The big difference here, of course, is that Mentalist will have Wheelbarrow instead, whilst MbL does not have that upgrade, so his economy should be really nice once he hits the Castle Age.
Good thing here for MbL, he seems to be going up with the same amount of villagers, and we were sort of expecting Mentalist to actually be a little bit ahead because Mentalist was able to take a villager there at the wall. But then again, I guess MbL just traded it, so nice job here by MbL. But just as you pointed out, once the TC is sort of idle, trying to go up, having that wheelbarrow upgrade is going to be crucial and very important. Try to take a look here at what the army composition is going to be from both players. Looks to me like Mentalist is going to go for knights, Zach. I guess I don't see an archery range. I see a stable. That was the stable he used to make scouts. Maybe MbL is going to be trying to defend with monks and siege. I see a lot of villagers on gold.
Yeah, a lot of villagers on gold could indicate monks for sure. Let's have a look really though at what MbL sees on this map. He doesn't really have great information about what Mentalist is doing. Obviously he saw the walls, so he knows he's going to go for a pretty fast castle time as well. Doesn't necessarily see what military buildings Mentalist is going. So what he has, sorry. So with all these villagers on gold, it could be siege monks, but it could
monastery.
also be, yeah, there you
Monastery,
go.
there you go.
So that's a really good call for MbL because obviously the Mongols they're pretty versatile in the Castle Age. If you do archers in the Feudal Age, you can very comfortably go for crossbows. But also with stable, you can go for knights and also camels. So I think it's more likely that a Mongol player will go for knights after doing a scout rush into a fast castle. And so MbL making a great call here.
It looks to me like this could be a little bit more of a passive game, if I'm not mistaken. What I'm actually sort of expecting here from MbL is for him to just play defensive. I'm quite sure he's not going to try to be aggressive with those monks. I guess he's just going to drop a couple of monks and maybe a siege workshop at some point. If there are no archers from Mentalist, then no siege workshop is needed, of course. So probably just going to try to defend with monks. Maybe at some point a couple of stone walls. We'll have to wait and see. What we can see so far is 3 TCs right out of the top from MbL. What about Mentalist? He's got 1 TC here. He's putting 1 on the wood line. Only 2 so far.
Yeah, I think you're right. MbL definitely going to be trying to get ahead in economy here. He's got these monks which make fantastic defensive units from knights. You see it so often, even on Arabia, players making monks to deal with knight rushing, and he's got these pretty flimsy palisade walls, but it's something. Yeah, right now, though, there's 3 TCs looking good. In fact, he's taking stone at the moment as well. Maybe a sign that he's going to go for a castle in the near future. And at the moment, maybe he'll try and gather a couple of relics while he has these monks out, and he's not feeling any pressure. But both players seem pretty happy to kind of play a more defensive game. Mentalist also adding in a monastery, and neither of them really getting too aggressive right now.
The only problem for Mentalist, in my opinion, I'm missing a 3rd TC. Is he getting it somewhere? Yes, he
on
is.
The left
right there
side,
on the left side. There it is. I guess even before MbL actually tries to drop a castle, I'd be very surprised not to see a 4th TC. In fact, I think he's right on it now. There it is. 4th TC going up. It's probably going to be a very nice boom here for MbL. You can see that it's pulling ahead with a villager count. It's 6 villagers advantage for MbL. Even after that very, very rough start, maybe a mistake for Mentalist not trying to go aggressive here, Zero?
Maybe. I think it's interesting because, Mentalist was ahead in terms of sort of economy when he was in the Feudal Age, because he had that better start, he had the faster feudal time, and he had the massive deer patch on the front, which was huge. But right now, as you say, MbL getting ahead in villages. Since he's thrown down that 4th town center, it looks like he's pretty set to stay ahead in villages. And he's kept those 5 villages on stone as well. So I think we'll see a castle coming up eventually also, possibly on this right side where that 2nd and 3rd gold pile is. But yeah, right now it's really surprising. Both players just really, really happy to just sit back and
just chill.
Boom all day, yeah.
Just chill, and considering that none of the players is spending any gold, there's absolutely no doubt you're going to be seeing castles, and you're going to be seeing the incredibly strong Mengyudai. And before we see that, I just wanted to point out, once more, in case you guys are new to the Age of Empires world, you can see these little monks here. They try to collect the relics. I could see Mentalist trying to do it. I think that MbL is going to try to do the same. Does he actually have one? No, he does not have one, but I saw him trying to get one. And what those relics do is they give you free gold, very slowly but steadily gold, as long as you keep them on your monastery. Obviously a very nice advantage here for Mentalist to actually have those scouts. Scouts have got a conversion resistant bonus, and they've got an attack bonus against monks as well.
Yeah, well, right now, Mentalist has got 3 relics in his monastery,
oh boy.
And there's also a 4th relic on the left side, which you can see. If you just check out Mentalist's scouting right now, and then compare that to MbL's scouting, like, the difference is huge. Scouting so important for many reasons, but obviously Mentalist here will find those relics, and he's going to bring them back home. And 5 relics is basically the same as 6 villagers gathering gold full time. And just look at Mentalist's gold count right now. Obviously, has had a few villagers gathering gold for quite a while, but those relics really contributing quite a lot already as he sits at 1,400 gold. Now,
let's see if this fight could go well here for Mentalist. He took 1 monk, probably not going to be able to take the 3rd one. Or, well, there it is.
Yeah,
looks like he took 3. Very, very nice fight here for Mentalist. He won't be able to stop the castle, or will he? He's got a knight here. Is he going to bring a couple more? He's going to bring the monks, but those are too late. MbL's going to lose a couple villagers, though.
Yeah. He's not going to stop the castle, but that was really nice for Mentalist. That's a great trade, isn't it? Losing a couple of scouts to take down 3 monks, any day of the week. I would
Oh
take
yeah,
that trade.
oh boy, yeah, I'll
It's a
take
great
that trade any time of the day, that's for sure. Anyway, nice job here. The first castle is up here for MbL, and let me take a look at Mentalist. He does not have one. He does have a whole lot of resources, a little bit.
He can afford one.
He could afford one, and he's got too much gold, though. I have to wonder. Looks like the booming.
He's drawing up a market right now. I think basically he had way too much gold income, and you know, it's so difficult. I find, you know, I'm not a great player at this game, but I find it so difficult to keep your eco balanced. And Mentalist eco right now is looking very imbalanced,
very
to
messy,
say the least.
very messy, very messy. Yeah,
to the point where MbL will probably click up to the Imperial Age first.
Yeah, he seems
Almost
to be
certainly.
idling his TCs in order to get that food that he needs. He needs 1,000 food, 800 gold. There it is. He's the first one to click up to Imperial Age. He's got more villagers. He's got a 9 villager advantage. And once more, let me take a look at the TCs. It's 4 TCs by now for Mentalist as well. 4 TCs against 4 TCs, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, there it is. It's 4 TCs by both players. MbL's got the castle advantage. All of a sudden, doesn't look so bad anymore for MbL.
No, Mentalist there, though, you see he's just behind by about 4 seconds going up to the Imperial Age. He obviously used that market pretty heavily. Now, if you can help it, then you want to avoid using your market because, well, you don't generally get a very good rate on the resource cost. But since he had a pretty massive surplus of gold, he used that market to buy some food and redistribute his economy a little bit, which is absolutely fine, considering he has got those 3 relics, which are obviously contributing a lot of gold over the course of the game. But right now, looks pretty close at the moment. Both players fairly close on villagers, with MbL having like a 9 villager lead. But I think it should be relatively close going into the Imperial Age here for a while.
See a couple of villagers from MbL moving in. Is probably gonna try to take that extra gold right there at the left side. And I just wanted to point out something you mentioned before: the exploration by both players. Just to reinforce what you mentioned before, Mentalist with 94% of the map explored, and MbL just up to 2 minutes ago he was only on 54%. He was able to explore a lot more, and by doing that he was able to spot a gold right there. Nice job by MbL trying to catch up on that, and we'll have to wait and see how will the fights go from with the Mangudais. We're going to be seeing Mangudai here. We're going to be seeing siege rams, maybe even siege onagers. I don't know.
Yeah, well, siege onager is really expensive. And this is the thing with the Mongols. Man, are they strong, but they are so expensive. It gets to kind of like producing Mangudai. It takes a hell of a long time to get all of those upgrades ready, and it's a long process to get fully upgraded. But they are so worth it if you get there in the end. But like you were saying about scouting, you know, MbL, it's kind of funny. He's gone for this gold on the far left side. It's really weird, but
unprotected, right? Completely unprotected, and that means those villagers are going to be GG in no time. Those elite Mangudais that can just make short work of those villagers, and there it is. I do wonder how did Mentalist spot those villagers? He didn't have anything there as far as I could see. So anyway, nice try here.
Well,
nice job by Mentalist.
Mentalist, he's always got his map hacks on in the background.
Right, he's got to be it.
He knows.
He's got to be it.
He knows. But those villagers, they are doomed. Like, there's nothing they can do at this point. They're in the complete opposite side. But then again, MbL is sending a small number of, I say a small number, a reasonable number of Mangudai over. He won't save the villagers, but maybe he will get some revenge on those Mangudai over there on that left side. But what a play from Mentalist.
Took 2, not enough in my opinion. All the villagers are going to go down. Oh, once alive, not for long. There it is. Yeah, I was sort of hoping him to try to cut the way for Mentalist from the right side of that forest. He wasn't quite able to do that. And by the time Mentalist is going to be very close to his castles, and MbL can't do anything anymore.
Yeah, obviously I'm only kidding, guys. Mentalist is clearly, you know, he's not cheating. It's a joke. It's a joke.
It's a joke. It's a joke. It's a joke.
Yeah. So Mentalist here pushing forward on the front, and MbL, like, he's gonna lose that palisade wall there. Mentalist with a few Mangudai gonna come forward and maybe find some villages inside of MbL's economy, and this is where MbL now might regret just having a very flimsy palisade wall for entire economy protection.
Or maybe have a castle there. I don't know. He's got it here on the hill. I think it's a very good castle, actually, considering there's a gold there too. 2 golds, in fact.
I'm face palming right now. MbL has gone and sent like another 8 villages down to that gold on the left side.
Oh boy.
This is just throwing a castle up. What is this MbL
Oh
doing?
boy, oh
It's so
boy.
funny. It's so
Mentalist is not gonna shy away from just put a castle right on his face. Can MbL actually see this? No, he cannot see this.
He has no idea. This is just brilliant. Like, Mentalist, it's funny. It's like he's trying to steal his gold from right under his nose. He's tried it once. He failed. He's trying it again, and he's gonna fail again. But right now, both players doing Elite Mangadai at exactly the same time, down to the second at this point. And I still maintain that it is pretty damn close. MbL, I guess you could argue he's got the villagers to throw away since he has a vill lead, but really, it's just why?
There's really
why it's
no
unnecessary.
Yeah, there is no necessity to do there. Anyway, he's gonna lose all those villagers once more. I guess he was able to sort of pull the Mangudai to the left side, and that's a good thing. If he was actually able to raid anything with his Mangudai, which he is not, considering Mentalist has got a whole lot of stone walls all across his map. So nice job here by Mentalist. Let's take a look at the upgrade stack. I can see the full attack upgrades for Mentalist. He's missing the armor. What about MbL? Seems to have the armor, only missing the attack upgrades. I'm sort of waiting to see how will they make their unit composition. Are they combine the Mangudai with siege onagers or with rams? Or with trebuchets?
Or Hussar.
Or
maybe.
Hussar.
Yeah. I think, well, at this point, MbL has a lot of gold and a lot of food. At the moment, though, he doesn't have a siege workshop, so it doesn't seem like siege onager will be coming in for a while. But right now, I imagine he's going to be focusing on trebs, focusing on upgrades, and just trying to mass a huge number of these Manganai up. At the moment, military count is completely neck and neck. Villager count completely neck and neck at this stage of the game, and a lot of resources for MbL to play with right now. It's down to him. Maybe he's just going to bide his time, wait for the Mentalist to make the first move, and then try and counter it.
Look at the number of Mangudais MbL has got right here. Apparently, Mentalist has got the same amount. He's gonna get inside MbL's economy, and that means MbL is gonna need to move away from that spot where he was in. He got a couple of trebuchets there. He's gonna be trying to push with them, but for the time being, he needs to know. Looks like Mentalist was not too confident going there. He's gonna
Mentalist's
go
got to
back.
be very careful pushing in, because if he pushes in too far, it might be difficult to get back out again. Sounds really wrong, but you know it's true. And he doesn't want to go in
I see what
too
you
far.
did there. I
But,
see what you did there.
Yeah, MbL right now, waiting with all of that resource. He's got 3,000 food. He's got 1,100 gold. He's just waiting, and Mentalist making the first real move, I guess. He's actually gone for the Onager upgrade right now. It looks like Siege Onager will be on the way for Mentalist, and that is pretty huge. It's a massive upgrade, and it could be devastating if it catches MbL off guard.
Siege Engineers for a Mentalist as well, and that means that's gonna... I think it just canceled it. Did he just cancel it? I don't know. Maybe it just finished and I saw it too late. Siege Engineers means those Siege Onagers are gonna have one more range. It's going to be 8+1 if I'm not mistaken, and both players being incredibly careful. A small mistake here could cost them the game. I guess it's also worth to point out the number of castles. You can see that both players have got 4 castles. That's a nice addition from this spectator overlay, spectator dashboard here. You can see both players have got 4 castles, a 5th one on the way for MbL. What about Mentalist? Is he making... No, looks like it's only 4 for him. He does not seem to have the stone for a 5th one.
Coming up. Yeah, okay, so the 5th castle for MbL now. But it's really important at this stage, like, to keep those castles alive. You see MbL doing hoardings, and he's done masonry as well. He wants the HP on his castles, because in Mongol Wars, when the primary unit, when the unit you're making the most is the Mangadai, if you fall behind in castles, it can be like a slippery slope.
You're
you start
so
falling
dead.
behind in castles, you lose your military production, your opponent outmasses you in Mangadai, and if you have a look at the difference here, like Mentalist 5,280 HP on his castle, MbL at this stage 5,800 with that hoardings research. So you know he is in for the long haul here. He's preparing for that really post-Imperial fight, and he's making his move on the left side of the map.
Gonna be trying to take down that castle. That's only 1 trebuchet, and it's not very heavily protected. And once more, do keep in mind, one of the things that makes these Mangudai so incredibly strong, apart from firing at light speed, and apart from having an incredibly strong attack, 8+4, they also got a bonus attack against siege units. That means those Mangudai can just make short work of this trebuchets. And I just wanted to point out that Mentalist is actually going for siege onagers here.
Yeah, and he's firing them really very hard into MbL's.
There's no way MbL can win that. There's no way MbL can. Look at the number of dead bodies right there from those Mangudai.
That's horrible. That is horrible. And man, that was a huge loss for MbL on that hill. And MbL is still sitting here with 2k gold in the bank. He's still not committed to Onager. Man, I should get my words out there. That was pretty heavy massacre for MbL on that left side.
That's the difference that a Siege Onager can do, and looks to me at this point very hard for MbL to actually keep that castle alive. It is on the top of the hill, and that means the trebuchets are going to have a harder time to take it down, but just too many trebuchets firing at that castle. And taking a look now at the number of Mengudai, looks to me like MbL is only a little bit behind, so not too bad. What's bad in my opinion?
I was going to say he's only a little bit behind, but he doesn't have Siege Onagers at this stage, which is huge.
The unit composition is just not there.
On the left side, the left side.
Huge Siege Onager shot.
Again.
Siege Onager shot, a huge shot right there. There go the Mengudai down. The trebuchets are down. Mentalist with a huge advantage at this point. He's got the map control as well. And MbL apparently was able to afford one other castle. He was able to put it up. But there's here Mentalist trying slowly but surely to push here. And the Mengudai numbers now are very, very well in his favor.
Yeah, exactly. I just want to correct what I said earlier. I said earlier on that MbL had masonry. He actually has masonry now, and it's the 6,300 HP on his castle. But still, even with these trebs firing uphill, which means they have a 25% attack decrease for Mentalist firing uphill.
This could be dangerous. This could be dangerous. That was a nice Siege Onager shot. This could be even a third one. I don't like these battles by MbL. I just don't like him. He's just moving in with the Mengudai alone. Yeah, it doesn't matter how well, how good it can micro, it's just gonna lose because too many Siege Onagers at the same time.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, MbL there, he's trying to micro his units to focus fire the Siege Onagers, but it's not happening, is it? There's too many of them. He just can't deal with that number. It's just getting wrecked out here on the left side. And not only that, he lost the castle and he lost 3 trebuchets to the Mengudai of Mentalist, which, as you said earlier on, have that attack bonus versus Siege. It's GG.
It's the GG call. It's unbelievable. How does he throw this away? At some point, looks like he was in a good spot. And as far as I can tell, Zero, his biggest mistake was just the unit composition.
Yeah, I mean, he was 100% Mengudai with a few trebs. And obviously, you know, a lot of games post-Imperial, they're going to come down to that treb war at some point. With the Siege Onagers being on Mentalist's side, it's absolutely huge. But what I want to look at is resources gathered this game, right? Because I feel like MbL had the advantage in gold. And he did. Overall, he had 17,000 gold, Mentalist 16,000. He had a lot less wood, but he had a lot of food. And I feel like MbL there just really missing that Siege Onager. And it's not like he has the excuse of, well, I couldn't afford it.
Yeah, I think if you take a look at the military stats, that tells you the whole story. You can see here Mentalist with 133 units killed, 63 lost. It's pretty much double the units killed, and that tells you everything you need to know about this game. He had a stronger unit composition.
I should add as well, and like you say, it is purely down to unit composition, because largest army, 80, pretty much 80 for the two of them. They pretty much had the same army size, but the army composition was what allowed Mentalist to win, and I'd put over half of his kills down to those Siege Onagers there.
Those were some very, very Craigasmic Siege Onager shots. And before I don't have time to do this, guys, I've got a little surprise here for Zero Empires. And he doesn't know this is coming, or he should know that this is coming. I want to play a video for you guys. I think you guys are going to enjoy this. Just watch it.
Hello, my name is Zero Empires, and I'm bringing you the latest matchup between Shinito and Paradise on the Green Arabia map. Shinito playing as Koreans in the southwest, he's playing as red as well. Paradise in teal, playing as Celts, and he is in the northeast. It's going to be an interesting matchup, see how both of these players react to the early harassment that's probably going to be coming in. And let's have a quick look now at their scouting. Scouting early on is very important. Most likely both players are going to be using their sheep to scout with, and that could give them a lot of early visibility on the map, which is crucial to finding your nearest resources